Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. Today's video is gonna be a little bit special because I'm gonna show you how I create my makeup dividers. When I did my video on my makeup collection and organization, somebody asked me if I could do another video explaining how I created my makeup dividers, and I thought of course I'm gonna do it. And in addition to that, I'm gonna show you how I changed my Alex drawer, because this is where I store most of my makeup. This is an Alex drawer from IKEA. Most of you probably seen it before. I have some stuff here too, but the majority of my makeup is here. And as I mentioned in that video, I have changed them a little bit so that they open more, because it was driving me crazy how little they open, because I couldn't reach the products that were behind. Yeah, I'm gonna show you those two things. I think we're just gonna jump into the video then. So I only found one video that was helpful when it comes to the Alex drawer. I'm gonna try to find it and link it down below, but it has been quite a long time since I did that, but hopefully I can still find it, and I'm gonna link it down below. I did change all of these drawers. I made them open more until here. I didn't do the 3 last ones, and that was because when you do this, it does make the drawer itself become a little bit more unstable. But for me, I didn't mind, because first of all, so far I haven't had any problems with that, but also it is much more important to me that I can open the drawer almost completely and see what I have behind than having a stable drawer. So for example, this one, I can open it, but it goes like this and on the side and, you know, up and down. It wouldn't do it before, but now it does that. So yes, and it doesn't always close that easily, but it's something to keep in mind. So if you don't want that, I wouldn't recommend doing this, but if you don't mind having that problem or that situation, I wouldn't call it a problem necessary, then I wouldn't do that. So I didn't do the 3 last ones that are as big as this one, because I was thinking that I can probably put heavier stuff in there and not worrying about being so unstable. I did this with my foundation and primers. I really needed to reach back in there and see all of my products. Okay, I'm gonna show you a comparison of how much they actually open when you buy the Alex drawer and how much they open now. So this is the difference. I mean, I am talking about quite a little bit of space here. Now I can manage to see everything behind. Now this one is quite empty, but before you can really reach that stuff right there. Right here, I've decided to put my nail polishes, and as you can see, it's not that easy to see the ones that I have in here. So that's why I want this drawer to open even more so that I can reach everything. By the way, I have a lot of nail polishes, I know, don't judge me. So let's put all of the nail polishes out. It's gonna take some time. And I thought that I could also show you how I did this kind of dividers, which I put my nail polishes, and I also use them for my foundations and also my lipsticks. I have removed all of my nail polishes, and I'm removing this too. Yeah, so the first thing that I'm gonna take is I'm just gonna say it right now, I'm very bad with the names of the tools that I'm gonna be using. So I'm gonna be using it's not a drill, but it is like I don't know what's called. A screwdriver, something like this. I'm just gonna use an electric one. I'm gonna go ahead and remove these screws right here in both of the sides so that I can take the drawer out. Okay, now that I have those 2 out, you should be able to remove it. I removed it, and I'm gonna put that to the side. It's gonna look like this. What I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna try to remove this thing right here, and it has 2 screws in there, right there. I'm gonna remove that. Okay, so now that I've done that, I am left with this part right here, and this is where we're going to do the changes. I'm not gonna lie, this is the difficult part. I mean, it took me quite a bit the first time I did it. This is supposed to stay like this in the drawer. This is the part that was screwed on the wall, and this is the part that moves. Comes out and in. So if you see right here, this is the reason why it doesn't open more, because of these small bolts right here. This prevents it from opening it completely. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open this and remove this whole thing, and then I'm gonna cut this, but I'm not gonna cut it completely. I'm gonna cut it until here. We do want these bolts right here so that the drawer doesn't fall out completely. This is why it's not gonna be that stable, because instead of having 2 things that hold it, it's gonna have only 1. So let's do that. So the first thing you're gonna have to do is to open those parts right here. I'm gonna take this thing, and this is not going to be easy, and you have to make sure that you're doing the correct side. Just like I said, open it, and the side that it stops is gonna be the correct side. With this thing right here, I'm gonna try and open it outwards. It is not so easy. I'm just gonna try to open it so that it comes out. If you don't have patience for these things, then do not start this, or just start with one drawer and then you see how it goes, because this takes time. This is gonna take time. It also takes some strength. Okay, I've opened it up like this. Let's see if it actually goes out. No, I maybe have to open it a little bit more. It is worth it at the end, trust me. Okay, now that I open it quite a bit, I'm gonna take a flat screwdriver, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring the inner piece on top, and I'm just gonna take this one. You need to be really careful. I mean, if you don't feel comfortable with these tools, then ask for help. Don't do it yourself. I'm just gonna do it like this, and I'm gonna basically take it out of there. So that's quite easy. Now that you can see it's out, you're gonna drag it and try to take the whole thing out. Be very careful. And the bolts are starting to come out. Yay! Don't worry about the sound, it just means that it came out. And you can see now there is this plastic thing right here, and then you want to take it out, that one too. Now it's very easy to take it out. I just took it out, and this is what we're going to cut. So I'm gonna cut mine. I've tried different sizes. I've tried cutting this in different places, and what I found best is cutting it right above where the balls are, right here, and that way it's gonna open the most. Take a very hard scissors. You don't want to take the paper scissors, and just try to cut this plastic thing. It's not very easy, but it's not as difficult as the previous part, okay? Be very careful. Okay, now that's done. What I'm left with is this part right here. You want to make sure you are putting this correctly. I suggest that you leave the one piece inside so that you can look at it for reference, because I've done the mistake before, not to know which size to put it back in. This side right here with this little stopper, it's going to be on the back. If the wall is here, the back is gonna be here. So you want to put it in the side where it has the 3 holes, and you're gonna put it this way, right? You're gonna have to find all the balls. Okay, as you can see, I am missing 3 balls. By the way, be careful because it has some grease in there. So you're gonna find the balls that fell down and put them back in place, because just like I said, these are the ones that stop it, and we do need that. This is not something very easy, but when it's done, it's gonna be nice. And now I want to put it back here. The balls are on this side, and you're just gonna try to put it back in, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, this is correct. Where you opened it, you're gonna just try to put it right in. And when you come to this part right here, because of the balls, it's not gonna be so easy to do that. But just try, and remember, you do need all the balls inside. If some of them come out, then you have to put them again, and that's a little bit of a difficult part too. I'm just gonna take my flat screwdriver, and hopefully this would help a little bit. I mean, this is very reckless the way I do things, but I do trust myself, and I managed to do this. When you actually done it, you're gonna drag it, and that's going to be able to go until this part right here. You're just gonna put it down, and it is basically in place. You have done the most difficult part. The next part is to close this back again. It's not gonna be that difficult, kind of. Just try it. It's more difficult to open it than to close it. Just like this, maybe a little bit more, so it doesn't come out again, because that's gonna be a problem. And it's fixed. Now you see it opens like this, and it is ready. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in place, and I'm gonna compare it for you. I just put it in the wrong side, so remember, the 3 holes go behind and the 1 hole goes in front. Okay, so this is what we're looking at right now. This is how much this opens, and that's how much that opens. It might not look like a lot of difference, but it is. All right, I'm gonna do the other one off camera, and I'm just gonna put back the drawer and I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. The drawer is back. Just like I said before, be careful to where everything goes, because I did mess up again and I put the wrong side in the one thing and it didn't go so well, and I have to open it again and fix it again. So it is very confusing. It is very easy to mess up. Just try to be careful to where everything goes and put it the right way. But anyways, I did it. I put the drawer in place. It is gonna be a little bit more difficult sometimes to open. So the only thing is, for some reason, this doesn't open as much as the other ones that I fixed before. It has opened more, I'm gonna show you, but not as much as the previous ones. This is how much it used to open, this is how much it opens now, and this is how I did it before. There is some difference there, probably because I didn't cut it as much as I cut the other ones, the plastic thing, but it is better, and I think I'm just gonna leave it like this because I cannot be bothered to open it again and fix it. So just keep that in mind. Okay, I feel like this is pretty good. I can still reach things here. So this is basically how you can change the Alex drawers and make them open more. It is quite a bit of work. If it is worth it to you and you cannot stand how much they open, then do it. If not, then don't bother, because you might stop halfway through and not finish it up. Anyways, moving on to the next part, how I make my makeup dividers. So there are a couple of things that you're gonna need. You're gonna need some foam board. This is just a plain white foam board, and you're gonna need a hot glue gun with some glue, of course. You're gonna need something to measure it with, because you're gonna know exactly how big the drawers are and how big you want to make each divider, and maybe a pencil, and then you're also gonna need a knife to cut it. I have already cut some pieces here. I have them like this because it is how they used to be before I moved. After you cut it, it's very simple. You're gonna basically measure how big you want each divider and how tall. Some of them I want them to be shorter, some of them I wanted it to be taller. It depends on what drawer you're gonna make. So this one I want them to be quite tall because the foundations and the products that I'm put here, they are quite tall. But in this one I wanted them to be quite short because the products that I put here are quite small. You basically just gonna measure them and cut them to as long and wide as you want them to be, and you're just gonna glue them together, and it's as simple as that. Now when it comes to something like this is a little bit more complicated. So you're gonna need two pieces like this. Maybe make one of them a little bit wider and the other one a little bit shorter, because one of them is gonna be the base and the other one is gonna be what supports them. So you're gonna basically put them like this. So you can either glue them on the top of it and it's gonna basically stay like this, or glue them in the middle of it. It depends on what you're working with. As you can see, for my nail polishes, I have glued them in the middle. So for the first row you're gonna have a base and then the wall that's gonna support it, and then the base of the next one you're gonna glue it in the middle right here, and just keep going this way. So I hope this is not confusing, but this is basically how I put everything together. So first of all, you're gonna have to keep in mind how wide you want them. So for example, for my nail polishes, I just measure how much space I want for every nail polish, and I just measure, for example, 3 or 4 centimeters, and I measure to how tall I want this to be too, because you want the stuff to fit in here, and sometimes I have made them too small. One other thing is I make one divider and then I put it in the drawer, and then I glue the next one on top of it or behind it, because sometimes if you try to make them and if they do break sometimes, so that's why I have to glue them again. So if you try to make them all together and then put them inside, I have made that mistake, and sometimes it goes a little bit, I don't know, to the side, or it doesn't fit completely perfect. Sometimes it comes too high, sometimes it comes too much to the side. So it is better if you do one, put it, do the next one, glue it on top of it, do the next one, and do it like that. That's pretty much how I did it. As you might see, they look a little bit not so well cut because I did so many at the same time and I got over it and I just wanted to finish. So I got a little bit impatient, whatever the word is. So we have the drawer right here, and as you can see, it fits perfectly. It's almost too big. I want it that way because I want it to be stable and not to have too much space so that it doesn't move. So I put the first row, and then I'm just gonna take my hot glue gun and either put some glue on this side or on this side. It's a little bit difficult for me because I'm holding the camera. I'm just gonna put some here, and you want to be fast with this because it dries quite fast. I put quite a bit in there. Okay, be fast, people. And then you go ahead and glue this together. And as you can see, it is already dry and it's gonna sit like this. I'm gonna show you one more. Try to hold it for a few seconds and it's ready. So to create one, I have two pieces. I wanted one to be a little bit wider and one to be a little bit shorter. This is gonna be the base and this is gonna be the wall. But from the previous one, I already have one base. I want to create the wall and the base for the next one. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put some glue to the smaller one and put it in the middle. Just like this. You're gonna create a T and you're gonna let that dry for a few seconds, and then same thing, you're just gonna put some glue either on the base of this one, which is gonna stick it like this, or on the other one. And there you have it. That is how I create my dividers. It is very simple. You just have to know what you want, then just put them together. After you measure them and you cut them, it's quite simple. I found this a little bit more difficult because you have to think of how it is going to sit. So for example, in here, so I cut these big pieces right here, and then I cut the smaller one, and then I also have one piece right here because I wanted to glue these pieces to the wall right here. So I just have some glue here, glue to these pieces, just glue it together. That's it, basically. The main things that you need that you might not have in your house is some foam board and some glue, hot glue. Everything else you probably have. You probably have a ruler and a pencil to measure and a knife to cut it. So it's quite simple. It just takes some time because you have to do all the measuring and the cutting and the gluing. It's not that difficult. It's not as difficult as trying to make the Alex drawer open more. I love it this way because I can customize it completely and I can change it all the time because those are not so difficult to separate and fix them again. You can do it as many times as you want. I've changed a couple of the drawers multiple times. You can make them bigger, you can make them smaller, you can make them as you like. Unless I find something super perfect for me, I think that this is the way that I'm gonna keep organizing my makeup because I love it so much and I don't know, it fits me perfectly. Okay, I'm just gonna finish this up and put the nail polishes back and I'm gonna be back to show you. So this is the end result. This is how everything is looking, and now I can reach all of my nail polishes. I can see them easier and reach all of them, and I am very happy with the way this looks. It's a little bit heavy, but I can close it just fine. Alright guys, that completes this video. I really hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something. I hope it wasn't too confusing. And please let me know if you're actually thinking about doing this. You can leave any questions or anything you want in the comments down below. I will answer them if I can. And yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you again in my next one. Bye!